The Blue Devils of Duke, they will start with an offensive unit like this. At tight end, number 89, Henley Carter. He is from Fort Defiance, Virginia. He's a sophomore, 19 years old, 5'9", and he weighs in at 188. At left tackle for the Blue Devils will be Roger Parker, wearing number 68 today. Parker is from Hialeah, Florida. He's 230 pounds, a senior, 21 years old, 6'2", weighing in at 230, as we mentioned. At left guard for Duke will be Herb Goring. Goings will wear number 54. He's from Charlotte, North Carolina. 19 years old, 6'2", 215, and he is a junior. At center will be Bucky Fondren from Roanoke Rapids, North Carolina, a 200-pound senior who stands 6 feet 2 and is 21 years old. He will wear number 56. At right guard will be Carl Gersbach. Gersbach today will wear number 63. He's a sophomore from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania. 19 years old, 6 feet even, weighs in at 205. At the right tackle will be Mike Reneker. Reneker is from Columbus, Ohio. 213 pounds. He's a senior, 21 years old, standing 6 feet 2, and will wear number 71. At the split end will be Dave Dunaway, and Dunaway is a speedster if they can break him loose. He's from Jacksonville, North Carolina. 21 years old, 6'3", 192, a senior. He will wear number 86 today. Duke, having trouble keeping a quarterback healthy, will go today with Larry Davis. He is number 15 from Portsmouth, Virginia, 20 years old, 6 feet even, 186 pounds, and a junior. At sight back will be Jake Devonshire. Devonshire is from Carneys Point, New Jersey. He's 20 years old, 6 feet even, 197, a junior. He will wear number 21. At the wing back will be Frank Ryan. Ryan today will wear number 40. He's from Garden City, Pennsylvania, 20 years old, 5'11", 188, and a junior. And at fullback for the Blue Devils will be Jay Calabrese from College Park, Maryland, 21 years old, 6 feet even, 209 pounds. He will wear number 30. We're just moments away from kickoff, but before the game begins, a brief timeout for me. Duke has won the toss, elected to defend the north goal, and Notre Dame will defend the goal to our right, the south goal, and will receive. Two teams are down on the field beneath us now. We'll not have time to give you all the statistics on the Notre Dame starting lineup. Of course, all eyes will be on Jim Seymour, who returns to action today. At the ends for Notre Dame will be Seymour and Gamitter. The tackles will be Seiler and Kuchenberg, Swatland and Regner the guards, Gedeke at center. Quarterback will be Terry Hanratty. The halves will be Nick Eddy and Bob Blyer, and the fullback will be Larry Conjar. Across the way, the Blue Devils of Duke, attired, as you might suspect, in blue uniforms with white jerseys, blue numerals. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame beneath us with their familiar gold and blue, the gold football pants, the blue jerseys with the white numerals. And they are clustered around head coach Ara Persigian right now, ready to take the field. And Notre Dame will be after victory number 8 in this 1966 string of undefeated victories. Of course, as Jim mentioned, everybody is probably looking forward to next week, but you have to crawl before you can walk, so Notre Dame has this one to face today before they can even think about Michigan State. You can go ahead and think about it. We've got a football game on our hands, and I think it'll be a dandy. As Duke comes out ready to kick off, here's your Notre Dame play-by-play announcer, Jim Morse.
Thank you, Frank Sweeney. For the Duke Blue Devils, Bob Matheson will be kicking off. Duke will defend the goal to our left, which is the north goal. Notre Dame will receive, defend the goal to our right, which is the south goal. Going back deep for Notre Dame, number 47, Nick Eddy in the middle. On his right will be Bob Gladgell, the sophomore halfback, number 20. And on his left, Rocky Blyer, number 28. Eddy, as you know, has already returned 2 kickoffs this year for touchdowns. Last week against Pittsburgh, he picked one up on the 15-yard line and returned it 85 yards. And that sets the stage for the 40-0 win over Pitt.
Jim, we've been doing a little researching. Nick has already broken a record with his kickoff returns for touchdowns in a single season. Paul Kastner had 2 in 1922, Johnny Lattner in 53, and Nick Eddy in 1966.
The ball is spotted almost at the right hash mark as Matheson gets kicked to set the kickoff for the Blue Devils. There's the boot. It's a good one right down the middle. Taken 2 yards deep in the end zone by Blyer out to the 10, 15, into the 19-yard line. Goes Rocky Blyer before he's knocked down by Art Van. Right defensive cornerman for the Blue Devils. So, Hanratty comes in the football game, and Gladgell comes out. And the Irish have the football, 1st and 10, from their own 19-yard line as action gets underway, and Jim Seymour is the split left end. Gamitter splits a little bit to the right. Blyer is on his outside. There's the snap. Conjar with the football over left tackle to the 23-yard line. Bob Matheson, the man who kicked off a few moments ago, and the right side linebacker, makes the stop for Duke. Gain of 4 on the play. It's 2nd and 6. Ball at the Notre Dame 23. Committer to the left side this time. Seymour and Blyer to the right. Conjar and Eddy are the running backs. There's the snap. Eddy with the football over left tackle to the 30, 35, 40, 50. He's going to go all the way to the 30, to the 20. And Nick Eddy scores for Notre Dame. 77 yards on the second play of the football game. Frank, you talk about an explosive athlete. You have to talk about Nick Eddy, who on the second play of this football game went 77 yards off left tackle for a touchdown. Joe Lazaro will kick now for Notre Dame. There's the snap. It's low and bobbled, and it's going to be recovered by Duke. However, there's a flag on the play. We'll have to wait for the official call. The official call is an offside penalty against Duke. Notre Dame will get another opportunity to attempt this extra point.
Jim, that run of Eddy's, of course, was beautiful. He had Regner and Seiler open the hole for him, but typically Nick Eddy, the way he cut back once he got across the line, gypsy doodle toward the inside, then to the outside, and put on the burst of speed, and that was it for 77 yards.
And Nick has now moved into 9th position among the all-time leading rushers for Notre Dame. He just surpassed Don Schaefer, who was a fine fullback here in 54, 5, and 6. Going for 2 points this time is Notre Dame. In the eye with Nick Eddy, the deep man. Conjar up the middle, and 2 points for Notre Dame. The clock is stopped with the score. Notre Dame 8 and Duke nothing. And Beach returns it to the 31-yard line for Duke. So it'll be the Blue Devils football. 1st and 10. The ball is spotted now at the 30, let's call it the 32-yard line. For Notre Dame, that front four is Rhodes, Duranko, Hardy, and Page. The linebackers for Jean, Lynch, Horney, and Martin. And in the secondary, Shane O'Leary and Smithberger. Frank Ryan, Ed Hicklin, the setbacks now, along with Calabrese. Quarterback gets the ball, throws out here to the left. It's complete on a hitch pass to the 40-yard line to Dave Dunaway. And Dunaway fights his way forward to the 41. Offensively now for Duke, at left end, Henley Carter. The left tackle is Raj Parker. The left guard is Herb Goins. The center, Bucky Fondren. The right guard is Carl Grosback. The right tackle is Mike Reneker. And the right end is Dave Dunaway. A pickup of 9 yards on the last play. It's 2nd and 1 at the 41. Larry Davis is the quarterback. Dunaway split to the right. Throws out here to Dunaway. Complete at the 45, and he's hit immediately. However, he has the first down. In that backfield now for Duke, we have Frank Ryan, Jay Calabrese, and Ed Hicklin are the running backs. Larry Davis, the quarterback. A gain of 4 on that last play. It's 1st and 10 at the Duke 45.
Look out for Dunaway if he catches one in the clear. This fellow does the 100 in 9.5, Jim.
Going into this football game, he had already caught 36 for 494 yards, and he's caught 2 in this ball game thus far. There's the snap. Calabrese, the fullback, with the ball over left tackle, and he's stopped after a gain of about a yard. Jim Lynch, Notre Dame captain, in to make the stop, along with Kevin Hardy, the right defensive tackle. Talking about Nick Eddy, he's gained a total of 1,570 yards in his Notre Dame career on 280 carries.
You know, Nick wears number 47. I got my brother Chuck up here in the booth with me, and that was his number when he was All-American down here.
He was a fine one. I don't know. We'll have to ask Chuck later if he had that much speed, Frank. There's the snap. Calabrese takes into the middle. Now Ryan gets the ball on a pitch out around the left end. He's to the 47 or 48-yard line. Tackled over there by Rhodes and Lynch. Smithberger coming up to help, along with Dave Martin.
Some scores coming in, Jim. First half, Villanova nothing. Boston College nothing. First period, Boston University and Delaware 7-7. First period, North Carolina State, Southern Mississippi, North Carolina State 3, Southern Miss nothing.
Duke football, 3rd and 6 at their own 48-yard line. Back to pass goes Davis. He throws it. They're intercepted at the 50. Back to the 40. Roswell goes back to number 40. O'Leary, he's in the end zone for a touchdown. That pass was intercepted by John Horney at the Notre Dame 45. He carried it back to the 40-yard line of Duke, where he led with the ball to Tom O'Leary, and O'Leary goes in to score on a a 53-yard interception. Horny and O'Leary. Beautiful burst of speed by O'Leary there at the 20-yard line, but he just went hightailing down. Had little trouble grabbing the handle on that football, but he did. Joe Azzaro now in to kick for Notre Dame. Terry Hanratty will hold. There's the snap, and there's the kick. It's in the air, and it's good. The clock is stopped with the score, Notre Dame 15 and Duke nothing. It's deep, and he's back to the 20, to the 25, and fights his way to the 27-yard line before he's brought down by John Horny and Tom Rhodes. So with 11 minutes and 18 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, Notre Dame has a 15-0 lead. Larry Davis in at quarterback for the Blue Devils. Ryan in at left halfback. Jay Calabrese the fullback, and Ed Hicklin is the right halfback. Hicklin flanks to the right this time. Dunaway splits to the left. It's 1st and 10 from the Duke 27. Calabrese gets the ball over left tackle and fights his way to perhaps the 29. Pete Duranko in there to make the stop for the Irish after a gain of about 3 yards.
First period score, Holy Cross 7, Rutgers nothing. First quarter, William & Mary 3, Virginia Tech 14. First period, North Carolina nothing, the Air Force 17.
Second down, 7 yards to go from the Duke 30-yard line as Hicklin goes to the right and Dunaway to the left. This time, the left halfback, Frank Ryan, gets the ball on the cross buck, goes over the 30 to the 32, and is stopped by Tom Rhodes.
In today's program, they have a little quote. I don't think we're all as mean and ferocious as some people would make us, but I do have to say we all get pretty excited when we see some guy running with the ball. Kevin Hardy was quoted on that. It might just well apply to Rhodes on that last tackle.
Gain of a yard on that last play. Dunaway on third down now goes back to punt. 3rd and 6 from the 31. True punt. He gets the ball away. A high spiral this time, coming down to Shane at the 31. He gets away from 2 tacklers and fights his way back to the 34 or 35-yard line. Notre Dame will have the football once again. They lead in this game, if you joined us late, by the score of 15-0. Nick Eddy took the second play from scrimmage and went 77 yards for a touchdown. So, Irish with the ball. 1st and 10 from their own 34. Seymour, Seiler, Regner, Gedeke, Swatland, Kuchenberg, and Gemitter. In the backfield, Hanratty, Eddy, Conjar, and Blyer. 1st and 10 from the 34. Hanratty calls the signals. There's the snap. He's back to pass. Now he keeps the ball. He's going to run with it around his own left end. Cuts back. He's to the 35 and to the 38-yard line before he's dropped. Making the stop was Art Van and Mark Telge.
This month, the News Journal appeared on the Notre Dame student front. The Observer launched, according to its editors, to uncover the truth and report it accurately.
5 yards on that last play. It's 2nd and 5. The ball now at the 39-yard line. There's the snap. The handoff to Conjar to the 40, 45, and to the 49-yard line. Larry Conjar off left tackle. Mark Tells makes the stop for the Blue Devils.
Jim, as defensive units go, this Duke alignment against Notre Dame is rather small. That line out there averages just 217 pounds.
It's a first down, 10 yards to go. Notre Dame from their own 48. Nick Eddy, the deep man in the eye. Seymour is split to the right. There's the snap. Back to pass goes Hanratty. He throws. He completes it to Conjar at the 40-yard line of Duke, and Conjar moves on to the 37. And he's stopped there by Art Van. Gain of 15 yards on the play. Nick Eddy out of the ball game now. Replaced in that backfield by Bob Gladjo, number 20. Nick Eddy blocked on that last play and I believe hurt his right shoulder again. 1st and 10 from the 37. As Hanratty gets the ball, goes back to pass. He looks, he throws. And it's incomplete to Seymour at the 30-yard line. And everyone took a deep breath because as Seymour went up, he was hit over there by Andy Beat, right around the ankles. And as everyone knows, Seymour has had some ankle problems here and, in fact, missed the last 3 football games for Notre Dame.
That was an apprehensive sight because he tumbled down to earth almost exactly the same way he did at Oklahoma when he got hurt.
Fred Marsico in the ball game, replacing Tom Regner. It's 2nd and 10 at the Duke 37 as Hanratty goes back to pass. He looks, throws down the middle, and it's no good. At the 20-yard line, way away from the intended receiver, Jim Seymour.
Andy Beat follows right along there with Seymour as he goes downfield, hugging him almost as close as a glove hugs your hand. And Hanratty seems to be going for the short man.
Regner is sitting down right in front of us now. It appears he has a leg injury. It's third down, 10 yards to go. Notre Dame from the Duke 37. Hanratty with the ball. Fake draw play and screen to the right to Gladjo. Complete to the 35, down to the 30, down to the 25. And it'll be a first down for Notre Dame, a 13-yard gain. Screen pass to the right to Bob Gladjo. Rob Bobkin made the stop for the Duke Blue Devils. 71, Seiler coming out of the ball game now. They had 3 injuries so far for Notre Dame. Which is an unhealthy situation. Regner out of there, Eddy out of there. And now Seiler comes out. He's replaced by McKinley. It's Notre Dame's football. First and 10 from the Duke 25. Seymour is split to the left. Handoff goes to Gladjo over right tackle. He fights his way forward for about 3 or 4 yards. Roger Hayes, the left defensive end for Duke, makes the stop. Defensively now for Duke, the left end, Roger Hayes. The left tackle, Bob Lasky. The center, or middle guard, I should say, is Bob Foyle. The right tackle is Rob Bodkin, and the right end is Bruce Wisely. And we'll continue with that in just a moment as Notre Dame is out of the huddle with 2nd and 8 at the 22-yard line of Duke. Hanratty gets the football, rolls to his left. He looks to throw, throws down the middle. It's over the head of Seymour. Defending on the play was Art Van. The linebackers now for the Blue Devils are Glenn Newman and Bob Matheson. In the deep secondary, we have Andy Beath, Larry Dempsey, Art Van, and Mike Shasby.
More scores coming in. First quarter, Harvard and Brown 7-7. We'll give you more as we go along.
Third down, 8 yards to go. Notre Dame, the ball at the 22-yard line of Duke. Seymour is split to the left. Hanratty gets the football. He's back to pass. He looks. He throws now, and it is complete to Seymour at the 10-yard line, and he goes out of bounds almost immediately. He's chased out over there by Mike Shasby. However, it's another first down for Notre Dame.
Good to see that Seymour still has the same moves. It looks like he hasn't been away for those 2 weeks. Downfield, then a little cut back of about 3 steps. Hanratty spots him, and there's the pass. Another score, Syracuse 14, Florida State nothing at the first quarter.
Paul Seiler back in the game at left tackle for Notre Dame. Irish have the football. First down, goal to go at the 9-yard line of Duke. Seymour to the right. The handoff goes to Conjar right up the middle. He's inside the 5-yard line to the 3 or 4. Bob Foyle, the middle guard, makes the stop for Duke along with right side linebacker Bob Matheson. However, not before Conjar picks up 5 yards, so we'll have second down. Goal to go from the Duke Blue Devil 4-yard line. 6 minutes, 4 seconds. Remaining in the first quarter, Notre Dame with a 15-0 lead. High formation this time. Deep man in the eye is Blyer. Handoff goes to Blyer over right tackle. Touchdown! Great blocking on the right side of that Notre Dame line that time by Dick Swatland, Bob Kuchenberg, and Don Gamitter. So Gerald Kelly will come in at center to make that snap. Gladjo comes out of the ball game. 66 yards in 12 plays for that score. Joe Azzaro to attempt the extra point. Hanratty will hold. There's the snap. The ball is spotted. It's up in the air. And it's good. Tom O'Leary now comes off the field limping.
23-yard line. On the tackle.
Tom O'Leary apparently has a leg injury. As he comes limping off the field, he's replaced by Mike Bergner in that defensive backfield. It's first and 10 from the Duke 23. Davis gets the ball, throws to Dunaway, complete at the 31, and he fights his way to the 35-yard line. Shane, Pergine combined to make the stop on Dunaway. And I told you a few moments ago that going into this football game, Dunaway had caught 36 passes, good for 494 yards. And so far in this ball game, he's caught 3 hitch passes. Number 86, he's 6'3", a senior, 192 pounds. First down on that play to the 35. Duke with the football. First and 10 from that point. Davis rolls to the right. He's going to run now, and he's hit by Pergine, along with Tom Rhodes, and Kevin Hardy. At the 38-yard line.
With the nation's eyes for next week, we might pass along this score. At the half, Michigan State 30, Indiana 7. First half. Go ahead, Jim. Sorry.
Gained 3 yards on the last play, Frank, so it'll be 2nd and 7 now. Ball at the 38-yard line of Duke. Hicklin to the right, Dunaway to the left. Davis, the quarterback, he hands to no one. He keeps it himself on the option to the 40 and to the 41-yard line, where he's tackled by Smithberger. And on top of Smithberger comes Rhodes, and the flag is dropped.
Unfortunately for Tom, because he was just trying to get out of the way there and tumbled over the fallen ball carrier. But nonetheless, the infraction has been ruled, and Notre Dame penalized the 15 yards.
The officials for today's football game, the referee is Gene Calhoun, the umpire Ray Moore. William Filson is the head linesman. The backfield judge is Dwight Wilkie, and the field judge is Bill Edwards. So it's Duke's football, 1st and 10 from the Notre Dame 44. Hicklin to the right, Dunaway to the left. The handoff, no handoff. Davis keeps the ball, now pitches back. There's a fumble on the play, and Duke keeps the football. Good faking that time. Larry Davis got the ball, faked into the line to Calabrese, then kept it around the left side and pitched back to his trailing halfback, Ed Hicklin. Hicklin, however, fumbled the football, but was able to gain possession once again. No gain on the play.
More scores at the half, 10-7, Columbia 6. At the half, Amherst 34, Williams 14. Third quarter score, Michigan State 30, Indiana 7. First quarter, Massachusetts and New Hampshire are scoreless.
That's Dan Harshman in defensively now for Tom O'Leary. It's 2nd and 10, ball at the 44 of Notre Dame as Davis goes back to pass. He throws and completes it at the Notre Dame 35-yard line. Tackle is made almost immediately on Ed Hicklin by the left side linebacker, John Pergine. The Notre Dame offense this year has averaged 33.9 points per game, and the defense has yielded only an average of 4 points per game. 7 yards on that last play. It's 3rd down, 3 yards to go. Ball now at the Notre Dame 36.5. Dunaway goes to the left. Hicklin flanks to the right. There's the snap. Handoff goes to Calabrese over left tackle. He's got the first down to the 31-yard line. Davey Martin makes the stop for Notre Dame. 3 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Notre Dame in a commanding 22-0 lead. However, Duke has the football with a 1st and 10 at the Notre Dame 31, and they're driving. Dunaway to the left, Hicklin to the right. Davis keeps the ball on the option play to the right side, and he's tackled by Pergine at about the 28 or 29-yard line.
Notre Dame defense has allowed an average of just 4.0 points per game, Jim. Duke has it down inside the 30, though. Let's see what they can do from this point on. Here's another score. Louisiana State 14, Mississippi State nothing. That's the first quarter score. At the half, Virginia Tech 14, William and Mary 3.
Duke out of the huddle now with 2nd and 8 at the Notre Dame 29. Dunaway to the left, Hicklin to the right. Davis gets the ball, goes back to pass. He looks, he throws, and it's over the head of the intended receiver and incomplete at the 5-yard line. Intended for Dunaway. Back defending was Smithberger and Shane for Notre Dame.
You know, with Notre Dame switching quarterbacks around and putting them on defense, it's interesting to note that Larry Davis with Duke has been switched to quarterback from a defensive halfback. By the way, he's also a brother of Ron Davis, who is a center fielder for the Houston Astros. And our pregame information says he's a good runner, not much of a passer, but he's been passing well today.
Right you are, Frank. It's 3rd and 8 now. Ball at the 29. Davis with the football. Back to pass. He's rushed, and he completes it at the 16-yard line. Hicklin catches that football, and he's tackled immediately there by Smithberger. That's another first down for Duke.
Great catch by Hicklin, too, because he had that defender's arms around him at the waist, and he had the football down around his knees, and he held it up to the crowd to let him know that he had successfully completed it.
Captain Jimmy Lynch patting the boys on that defensive unit on the back now, telling them to get going. It's 1st and 10, ball at the 17-yard line of Notre Dame. Davis gets the ball, back to pass. It's the hitch again, complete at the 14 or 15-yard line to Hicklin. Pergine runs him back to the 25 and throws him down.
More scores, first quarter, Ohio State and Iowa are scoreless. First quarter score, Houston 16, Kentucky 6. At the half, Syracuse 20, Florida State 7. First half score, Harvard 17, Brown 7. First quarter score, Maine 13, Vermont nothing. And at the half, Lafayette and Colgate are tied 6 and 6.
Gain of a yard on that hitch pass. It's 2nd and 9. The ball at the Notre Dame 16. Davis with the football. He keeps it. He's brought down immediately by Jim Lynch and Pete Duranko. Davis didn't have a chance that time. As soon as he had the football, Lynch had him along with Duranko.
What makes Lynch such a fine linebacker, he had that play read pretty well. He was on his back before he moved 2 steps to his right.
The ball is spotted back at the 20-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and 13 with 41 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. That'll be the time remaining here in the first quarter. As Dunaway goes to the left, Hicklin is flanked to the right. Davis, the quarterback. He gets the ball, back to pass. He throws down the middle, and it's intercepted by Smithberger at the 10. Back to the 15, 20, 25, and 30. To the 35 and to the 40-yard line goes Jim Smithberger.
Beautiful to watch as Smithberger went down the sidelines there. One blocker picked him up. He waited for Page to give him a good solid block at the 30, which sprung him for another 10 yards. Typically Notre Dame, the way these backs and defensive backs have been using their blockers to get that extra yardage.
A 33-yard return by Jim Smithberger gives Notre Dame possession of the football at their own 40 with a first down, 10 yards to go. Rocky Blyer, Larry Conjar, and Bob Gladjo are the running backs for Notre Dame. Nick Eddy apparently hurt his right shoulder again. Hanratty back to pass. He looks, he throws long, intended for Seymour, and it's incomplete at the 18-yard line. Good defensive play on the far side by Larry Dempsey. And that's the end of the first quarter with the score. Notre Dame 22 and Duke nothing. Has his right calf wrapped tightly in some kind of adhesive. Apparently, it looks to me from this vantage point that he may have been kicked in the calf.
I noticed when he was on the bench, Jim, they were massaging his right calf. Maybe they put more packing on it.
Notre Dame out of the huddle with 2nd and 10 at their own 40. Hanratty gets the ball, fakes the draw, throws out here to the right to Gladjo. It's complete, and he gets over the 40, perhaps to the 42-yard line before he's driven out of bounds. Bob Lasky over there, the left defensive tackle, making the play on Gladjo. Well, the Irish are playing without the services of Nick Eddy, who hurt his right shoulder again, I might repeat, on a block. Talking to his father earlier this morning, his father made the comment that he couldn't catch Nick even when he was 5 years old. So it's Notre Dame's ball, 3rd and 10 at the 41. There's the pass out there, complete at the 45-yard line to Rocky Blyer, and he's driven out of bounds immediately on the far side. Martell driving him out of bounds after a gain of 14 yards. The ball now at the 45-yard line of Duke, where it'll be first down, 10 yards to go, Notre Dame. Out of the huddle they come. Gladjo goes to the right along with Blyer, who is flanked about 5 yards outside of his right end. Seymour is to the left. Hanratty gets the ball, back to pass. Looks long, he throws down the center. It's complete at the 20 to Blyer to the 10. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
That time, Seymour was about 6 yards further down, right in line with Blyer, and they were looking everybody in the stands, I think, for that ball to go to Seymour, but there was Rocky, and cutting diagonally toward the east stands, went in for the touchdown.
Joe Azzaro will attempt the extra point for Notre Dame, and Terry Hanratty will hold. They're set. There's the snap. It's placed. It's up in the air. And it's good. The clock has stopped with a score. Notre Dame 29 and Duke nothing. Tom O'Leary is walking around down in front of us now. He's replaced in that defensive secondary by Dan Harshman. It's Duke's football, 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line. Hicklin to the right, Dunaway to the left. Davis the quarterback. There's the snap. Handoff goes to Calabrese over left tackle, and he's dumped after about a yard. Big Kevin Hardy in there to make the stop.
You know, Notre Dame graduates are fans of our broadcast throughout the country. Jim, and an old friend of yours and mine, Charlie Callahan, passed through Chicago last Tuesday, stopped in the Sports Writers Luncheon, said he'd be listening to us today out in Kansas City.
Well, we all remember Charlie, of course. It's second down, 9. The ball at the 29 as Davis gets the ball, hands it off to Ryan on the crossbuck over right tackle, and he gets nowhere. Pete Duranko has got him. Got him good. And talking about the fans, Frank, around the country, we certainly want to thank the many nice people who have sent us letters. In the past several weeks, we've been broadcasting these Notre Dame football games over ABC. Actually, we've had letters from all over the world because of the fact that this broadcast is picked up by Armed Forces Radio. It's third down, 10 yards to go as Davis goes back to pass, and Page has got him back at the 18-yard line. He tried to run around Page, and that's a hard thing to do because Page is about 250 pounds, and he's got a reach of about 6 feet.
Just the size of those boys who get you tired out trying to run around him. Here's some more scores at the half. Cornell 10, Dartmouth 7. First quarter, Tennessee and Mississippi 0-0. First quarter, Texas 3, Texas Christian 0.
Dave Dunaway will be kicking for Duke on 4th and 20, the ball at the 17. There's the snap, and it's blocked. Taking the football down at the 5-yard line, and it's thrown out of bounds. It'll be Notre Dame football. That ball was blocked, I believe, by Gerald Kelly for Notre Dame. In any event, it'll be Notre Dame's football as one of the Blue Devils threw it out of bounds at the 9-yard line of Duke. That was either Regner. No, it couldn't have been Regner. It would have to be Martin. Dave Martin, perhaps. It's first and 10 in any event at the 9-yard line. First and goal, I should say, as the fullback, Conjar, gets the ball right over center to about the 5 or 6-yard line. We'll get the official call for you in a few moments.
Actually, one of those times, Jim, when 56 and 58 start to blend together, and you wish you had 40-40 eyesight instead of 20-20.
Notre Dame with the football with second down, goal to go at the Duke 5-yard line. Blyer, the deep man in the I formation. There's the snap. Blyer gets the football over right tackle and spins his way to the 2-yard line. 11 minutes, 48 seconds remaining in the first half. Notre Dame with a 29-0 lead. Boyle and Botkin made the stop that time on Rocky Blyer. This time it's Gladjo and Conjar in that backfield with third down, goal to go from the 2. And off goes to Conjar, touchdown right up the middle. Boy, some blocking on the right side of that line again. Watland, Duchenberg, and Gemitter. Once again to attempt the extra point for Notre Dame. Terry Hanratty will again hold. They're set. There's the snap. It's spotted. It's up in the air. And it's good. So the clock is stopped with the score Notre Dame 36 and Duke nothing. Eddy has carried once for 77 yards. Conjar 4 times for 22. Blyer twice for 7. In the pass catching department, Conjar has 1, Seymour 1, Gladjo 1, and Blyer 1. It's second and 3, the ball at the 28. As Calabrese gets the ball over right tackle, no gain on the play. Pete Duranko over there along with John Horney to make the stop for the Irish.
First half score, Yale 7, Princeton 0. At the half, Holy Cross 7, Rutgers 6.
Now for Duke, Davis has attempted 8 passes, completed 6 for 46 yards. Kyle Gersbach goes out at right guard for Duke, and he's replaced by John Alexander. It's third down 3, the ball still at the 28-yard line of Duke. Davis gets the ball, back to pass, throws out here to his right, complete at the 32-yard line to Hicklin, and he goes to the 37 before he's driven out of bounds by Dan Harshman. In the rushing department now, for the Duke Blue Devils, Calabrese has carried 4 times for 10 yards. Ryan 3 times for 4 yards. Hicklin has caught 4 passes for 29 yards. Dunaway 3 passes for 25 yards. That last pass was good for the first down. Now first and 10 at the Duke 37. Hicklin to the left. Handoff. Goes to the right half back on the crossbuck, Ryan, and he's to the 35. He didn't get back to the line of scrimmage before Alan Page met him that time, along with Tom Rose. John Alexander comes in once again, replacing Carl Gersbach at right guard for Duke. A loss of a yard on that last play. The ball is spotted now at the 36 of Duke, where it's 2nd and 11. Coming wide to the left this time is Dave Dunaway. Their fine split in, and to the right goes Hicklin. Back to pass goes the quarterback, Davis. He looks, throws over the center. It's intercepted by Jim Lynch. He laterals the ball back to Shane. Shane is to the 40, 35, and down to the 30-yard line, and he's knocked out of bounds. You know, I'm laughing, Jim. It must have been mental telepathy, because I just asked Fran over here how many interceptions Notre Dame had this year. Hold it just a moment. There's a flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play.
Apparently the penalty. Well, let's see what it is. The penalty is going to be against Notre Dame. However, I believe it took place after the interception. That it did, so Notre Dame will retain possession of the football. It's a clip penalty being called against the Irish, and that moves the ball back to the Notre Dame 46, where it's 1st and 10. Notre Dame has 20 interceptions so far this year. And ready, the quarterback. There's the snap. The handoff goes to Gladjo. Over right tackle to the 50, and now to the 45-yard line of Duke goes Bob Gladjo. He's tackled at that point by Rob, I should say, Bodkin.
Just about one more step, and he might have been on his way, Jim. It looked like a lot of daylight ahead of him there at the 45-yard line. 36-0, Notre Dame leading.
Gain of 9 yards on that play by Gladjo. It's now 2nd and 1. The ball at the 45-yard line of Duke. High formation this time. Blyer, the deep man in the eye. Back to pass. Goes Hanratty. Down the center. He throws. It's intercepted at the 15-yard line by Art Van, and he's back to the 20, to the 25, and to the 30. And that's all at the 30-yard line. That pass was way over the head of the intended receiver, Jim Seymour.
You know, Jim, something that was beautiful to watch that time. The pass was intended for Seymour. When he saw it intercepted, he slipped and fell to the turf, got up, actually got a hand on the man returning the pass to slow him up a couple of steps.
So, turnabout is fair play. As the Blue Devils now come up with an interception by Art Van, take possession of the football, 1st and 10 from their own 30. Quarterback Davis gets the ball over the left side to the 35-yard line on the option play. Tackled at that point by Jim Lynch and Kevin Hardy and Dave Martin.
Here's a score Midwesterners will be interested in. At the first quarter, it is Purdue 3, Minnesota nothing. They're playing in some pretty cold weather up there at Minneapolis today. At the half, North Carolina State 3, Southern Mississippi nothing.
Davis gained 5 yards. It's 2nd and 5. The ball at the 35 of Duke. Hicklin goes to the right. The handoff goes to the left halfback, Frank Ryan. There's a flag on the play, and there's no gain on the play. They run that quick crossback using Frank Ryan, the left halfback. However, Duranko and Lynch are right there. There's a marker on the play. Harry Alexander comes into the ball game now, replacing Kevin Hardy, who limps off the field. Illegal procedure penalty called against Duke. It's declined by Notre Dame. 3rd and 5, ball still at the 35-yard line of Duke. I'm reminded that next week, when Notre Dame meets the Fighting Irish, there'll be a big rally put on by the Notre Dame Alumni Club of Lansing at the Jack Star Hotel. You're all invited. Back to pass goes the quarterback and completes it to Dunaway on the right side at the 39-yard line. Boy, he's hit right away by Harshman, Shane, and Pergine. We're also reminded by Herb Jones that the Rocky Dinner in Chicago will be held on December 5th at the Palmer House. And, of course, you're all also invited to that. Nice time had each year, I might add. 4th down, 2 yards to go from the 38-yard line of Duke, and Dunaway comes in to punt for the Blue Devils. Back for Notre Dame goes Tom Shane to his own 30-yard line. There's the snap, and there's the kick, and it's a beauty. High spiral. Shane lets it bounce at the 28-yard line. It goes now to the 25, and it's down at that point. Big Raj Parker, the left tackle for the Blue Devils, downs the ball. A 37-yard kick that time by Dave Dunaway. Notre Dame football, 1st and 10 from their own 25. They hold a commanding 36-0 lead with 6 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the first half. Hanratty is still the quarterback. High formation, the handoff, no handoff. Hanratty goes back, he looks, he throws, he completes it to Seymour at the 30, Seymour to the 35, and to the 39-yard line before he's tackled by Art Van. 14 yards gained on that play. And my guess would be at this point that Notre Dame head coach Ara Parsegian is leaving that combination of Hanratty and Seymour in there to see if they can get the combination working as they had it early in the season. Seymour, as you know, has missed the last 3 games because of an ankle injury. It's 1st and 10 now at the Notre Dame 39. Hanratty keeps the ball on the quarterback sneak. He's to the 40, 45, 50, down to the 45, down to the 40, down to the 30. He's being chased and driven out of bounds at the 13-yard line by Art Van. Well, Hanratty says if I'm having a bad day throwing, I guess I'll run with it. And that he did. Again, those Notre Dame blockers picking him up, making the path away for him, and with a little more speed, he might have gone all the way. 48 yards on that play by Hanratty on a quarterback sneak, and Duke takes the timeout. This past summer, Notre Dame saw the completion of its second major fundraising program, which brought over $22 million to the university. Gifts and grants from alumni, friends, corporations, and foundations make the program successful. I noticed in running down Father Joyce's background that he has an honorary doctorate from St. Thomas College up in St. Paul, Minnesota, and we'd like to take this opportunity to pass along our congratulations and good luck to St. Catherine's up there putting on their Sound of Music production tonight for the final night. Here at Notre Dame Stadium, it is Notre Dame 36, Duke nothing. This is Frank Sweeney along with Jim Morris as we are every Saturday afternoon bringing you the Notre Dame football games over this ABC radio network. And it's a fine bunch of Irish that we've got representing South Bend here in this 1966 season. The apprehensive eyes, of course, have been on Jim Seymour today, and he hasn't let them down. It looks, as Jim mentioned, they may keep the Hanratty-Seymour combination in there to give them a little practice. That's what they need, I guess, Jim.
I mentioned a moment ago about that rally to be held in East Lansing, and I said when Notre Dame plays the Fighting Irish. Actually, I don't think I have to correct that because everyone's well aware who's playing in Lansing next week. It's first down, 10 yards to go. Notre Dame, the ball at the 13-yard line of Duke. Hanratty gets the ball, hands off to Gladio, over right tackle to the 10-yard line where he's hit and dropped right at that point. Andy Beath and Roger Hayes make the stop for Duke. Hanratty has now completed 7 of 11, good for 115 yards. He's also picked up 52 yards rushing this afternoon. 3 yards on the last play by Gladio. It's 2nd and 7, the ball at the 10-yard line of Duke. Blyer and Seymour split to the left this time. That leaves Gladio and Conjar as the running back. Hanratty goes back to pass. He looks, throws down the center, and it's complete to Seymour. Touchdown! He always seems to be in the right spot at the right moment. Notre Dame with a 42-0 lead with 5:01 remaining in the first half. Azzaro to attempt. The kick is up, and it's good. And the Irish lead by the score of 43-0 over Duke. Seiler, Harry Alexander, Alan Sachs, Joe Azzaro. Ted Orville now in at quarterback. For Duke, they have a 1st and 10 from their own 22. He gets the football, hands to his fullback, Calabrese, who fights his way right up over the center to the 24-yard line. Notre Dame's first defensive unit is still in the football game, and I notice now that Kevin Hardy, even though he's injured, is in the football game, although I believe he's going to come out right now. Yes, he is. Whatever injury he has is not particularly painful, although he is replaced now by Harry Alexander. It's second down, 8 from the 24. Wilson in the backfield now for Duke, as Orville gets the ball, goes around the right side, and gets out to the 30-yard line. Alexander, Duranko, and Rhodes make the stop for the Irish. The ball is at the 30-yard line. It'll be third down and 2. And the Notre Dame students shout, "Hold that line." Orville gets the football, hands it off to his fullback, and he goes over the right side. He's very close to the first down at the 32. Paige Wilson, stopped by the entire front four, along with the 4 linebackers for Notre Dame. And we'll have an official measurement. In that backfield now, for the Duke Blue Devils, Ted Orville is the quarterback. Jake Devonshire is at left halfback. Paige Wilson is the fullback. And at right halfback is number 24, Ken Chatham. It's the first down for Duke.
Jim, it's a full house again today, 59,075, and the attendance to date, 484,271. Notre Dame is assured of passing the 500,000 figure this year for the 25th time.
What an amazing record. And Kevin Hardy has asked Coach Johnny Ray to go back in the football game, and that he does, replacing Harry Alexander. It's first down, 10 yards to go from the 32-yard line of Duke. There's the snap. Back to pass goes Orville. He throws down the center, and it is incomplete. At the 35-yard line, that pass was intended for Dave Dunaway. And defending for Notre Dame was Dan Harshman, who's in the football game, replacing the injured Tom O'Leary. There are 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining in the first half. Notre Dame, if you joined us late, has a commanding 43-0 lead. Nick Eddy, on the second play of this football game, raced 77 yards off left tackle for a touchdown. Duke out of the huddle now, second 10, the ball at their own 32, and Dunaway is split to the left, Hicklin flanked to the right. Ted Orville, the quarterback. There's the snap. He throws to his right, it's complete at the 38-yard line to Hicklin. He's hit immediately over there by Shane, Pergine, and Harshman.
That score at the moment of 43-0 represents a season high for Notre Dame this year. Last Saturday it was 40-0. That was the high, but already here in the first half, they have 43 points. More scores at the half: Maine 25, Vermont 7. First quarter, Miami of Ohio 21, Dayton nothing. First half, Wake Forest 14, Memphis State 7.
Third down, 4 yards to go. The ball at the 38-yard line of Duke. Hicklin to the right. Dunaway is split to the left. There's the snap. Orville back to pass. Looks for Dunaway. It's incomplete over the center. Dave Martin making the defensive play for Notre Dame. Mal Travelstead in at left tackle, replacing Raj Parker now for Duke. Fourth down and 4 means that Dunaway will go back to kick now for the Blue Devils. Tom Shane will be back deep to receive for Notre Dame. Shane standing at his own 31-yard line. There's the snap, and there's the kick, and it's a beauty this time. Real high, long spiral. Shane at his own 20. Back to the 22, and he's dumped at the 24-yard line. There's a marker on the play, however, and it looks like a clip penalty is going to be called. A 42-yard kick that time by Dunaway. Coley O'Brien comes in at quarterback for Notre Dame, and we've got a completely new offensive lineup. And we'll get it to you in just a moment. Looks like Trinity in there at halfback. Flipping penalty assessed against Notre Dame. Moves the ball back to the Notre Dame 12, where it's first down, 10 yards to go. Frank Trinity in at right halfback. Dave Haley at left halfback. Coley O'Brien is the quarterback. He hands to Haley over right tackle, and he gets out to the 14-yard line. Ron Duchney is in there at fullback. So we have O'Brien, Haley, Crenity, and Duchney in the backfield. A gain of 2 yards on that last play by Haley. It's second down 8, the ball at the 14-yard line. Brian Stenger is the split end. Mike Kuzmich is at the other end. O'Brien goes back to pass, and it's incomplete to Stenger at the 25. So the ends are Stenger and Kuzmich.
O'Brien to Stenger, incomplete. Broken up by Beast.
Wisney is one of the tackles. Fred Zucker, check that. Pass was incomplete to Stenger, so the ball now is at the 14-yard line where it's 3rd and 8. Coley O'Brien with the football. He's back to pass. He's being rushed and he's brought down back at the 7-yard line. Bob Lasky making the stop for Duke.
O'Brien loses 7
Here's
yards.
a halftime
Kelly.
score. I'm sorry, Jim. Excuse me, Frank. I'm trying to get that Notre Dame front 7 there. Gerald Kelly is in at center. Tom McKinley, the left tackle. Fred Marsico, the left guard. Roger Fox, the right guard. And Wisney is the right tackle. Mike Kuzmich, the right end. There, I think we have it.
With 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining in the first half here, Notre Dame leading Duke 43-0. Here's a halftime score. Northwestern 17, Michigan 14. At the half, Ohio State 7, Iowa 3. Third quarter score, Villanova and Boston College 0-0. At the half, Houston 36, Kentucky 6. At the half, Miami of Ohio 28, Dayton 0. First quarter score, Auburn 13, Georgia 0. First quarter, Clemson 14, Maryland 7.
Fourth down, 16 yards to go. Notre Dame from their own 7-yard line. There's the snap. Gladjo gets the punt off. It's taken and fumbled at the 40-yard line. The ball moves back to the 50 and down right there. Beast was the man that tried to field that football for Duke. He fumbled it at the Notre Dame 40 and it rolled back to the 50 where he recovered it. And Gerald Kelly pounced on him immediately. So the ball is spotted now at the 49-yard line of Duke with 57 seconds remaining here in the first half. Dicklin is split to the left, Dunaway to the right. Orville goes back to pass. He's rushed by Duranko, and Duranko's got him back at the 36-yard line of Duke. Loss on the play of about 13 yards. They line up fast now, so it'll be first, or second, I should say, in 23 as Orville gets the ball, rolls to his right, he throws, and it's incomplete, intended for Dunaway at the 44-yard. Stop that clock with 10 seconds showing.
It's a guess on my part, Jim, but I think at halftime the stats are going to show that Duke will have negative for rushing yardage today.
Well, they have a 4th and 29 from their own 30 now, and Dunaway will be in to kick. Tom Shane goes back deep for the Irish. There's the snap. Dunaway gets the kick away. Low spiral this time, kind of a floater. Bounces at the 41 of Notre Dame. Now takes the bounce and goes down to the 32-yard line where it's down by the Blue Devils. And that's the end of the first half with the score. Notre Dame 43 and Duke nothing. Notre Dame will be kicking off, defending the goal to our left, which is the north goal. Duke will receive, defend the goal to our right, the south goal. Frank Ryan and Beast will be back to receive for Duke. You joined us late. Notre Dame has a commanding 43-0 lead. Joe Azzaro gets set to kick off for the Irish. Second half action just underway here from Notre Dame Stadium. There's the whistle. There's the kick. Kind of a low one this time. Bouncing at the 22-yard line. Taken now at the 15-yard line by Ryan. He's back to the 20. Goes to the far side to the 25. And he's dumped at the 26-yard line. Making the stop was John Horney.
Ryan from the 15 to the 25-yard line.
Duke with the football. First down. 10 yards to go from their own 25.
Duke didn't wind up on the negative side, but mighty close to it, Jim. Just 18 yards rushing in that first half.
Larry Davis in at quarterback, keeps the football. Now hands off to his right halfback, up to the 27 or 28-yard line. Check that. That was Calabrese, the fullback, with the football, and he was tackled by Alan Sack. Playing left defensive end now for Notre Dame. It's second down 7. The ball now at the 29. The pitch back goes back to Ryan. He fumbles the football back at the 15. It's picked up by Notre Dame. And it's into the end zone. However, it'll be coming back out to where the ball was recovered. At about the 16 or 17-yard line. That ball was recovered by Ron Jaworski for Notre Dame.
Run with it now and ask questions later. I think that was his attitude.
The Irish are out of the huddle with 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line of Duke. Coley O'Brien is in at quarterback. He hands the ball to no one, keeps it himself on the option over the right tackle position, and is down to the 12-yard line. In that backfield, Duchesne is the fullback, Haley at left halfback, and Frank Cernitti is at right halfback. Coley O'Brien is the quarterback.
On the tackle. At the end of the third quarter, Michigan 6-37, Indiana 13.
The left end is Jim Weingartner. Now it's 2nd and 5 from the 12. Coley O'Brien hands the ball to Dave Haley over left tackle. He's inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Weingartner and Kuzmitz are the ends. McKinley and Wisney are the tackles. Marsico and Fox are the guards.
Scores Illinois 3, Wisconsin nothing.
And Kelly is the center. There we have it with 3rd and 2 from the 9-yard line of Duke. O'Brien calling the signals. There's the snap. He keeps it on the quarterback sneak. I believe he's short of the first down. Ball is spotted, let's see, right at the
1 yard.
let's call it the 8-yard line or 8.5-yard line perhaps. So it'll be 4th down and about 2. Glenn Newman in at the left linebacker position for Duke. Out of the huddle come the Irish with 4th and 2 at the 9-yard line of Duke. O'Brien calls the signals. Pitches out now to Haley around the right side to the 5. He's in the end zone for a touchdown. Dave Haley goes 9 yards for the score. Well, I told you at the beginning of this football game that Coach Ara Parsegian genuinely believed that Duke could upset Notre Dame. He apparently had his football players feeling the same way because they came out like tigers this afternoon. Joe Ozaro will kick. It's up in the air, and it's good. With the score, Notre Dame 50 and Duke nothing.
4.25 miles.
12 minutes, 7 seconds remaining in the third period. Joe Ozaro will kick off once again for Notre Dame. And believe me, he's had a workout in that department this afternoon because Notre Dame has the lead 50 to nothing. Andy beats Frank Ryan. Back deep for the Blue Devils. Long kick this time, taken at the 4-yard line by Ryan. Back to the 5, 10, 15, 20. Good run, 25. Spins his way out to the 30-yard line. Dan Harshman makes the tackle, and there's a flag on the play.
Ryan from the 4 to the 30-yard line. A flag on the play. Quinn and Ozaro.
Going to be a 15-yard penalty assessed, I believe, against Duke for clipping. The decision is being discussed with Harry Alexander for Notre Dame.
Personal foul called against Duke.
Going to be called a personal foul, so it'll be 1st and 25 now with the ball at the 15-yard line of Duke. Out of the huddle they come. There's the snap. Back to pass goes the quarterback, Davis. He's being chased back there by Alan Sack, and he's dropped back at the 1 or 2 yard line. Gary Wisney also in there.
Scores keep coming in, so let me pass some of them along. Third period, Tennessee nothing, Mississippi 7. At the half, Alabama 14, South Carolina nothing. At the half, Mississippi 7 and Tennessee nothing.
Dave Dunaway is going back to kick with 2nd and 38 yards to go from his own 2 yard line. There's the snap. There's the kick. It's not a good kick. It's end over end. Fair catch called for and fumble at the 21 yard line. That fair catch was called for by Quinn. However, he fumbled the football. And let's see who gets it. Notre Dame still has the football. Coley O'Brien coming back in the ball game. That was only a 19-yard kick by Duke.
More scores at the half. Connecticut nothing, Rhode Island nothing. Third period, Cornell 17, Dartmouth 20. First quarter score, Richmond 3, East Carolina nothing.
The Notre Dame offensive team came into the football game. However, now the referee tells us that Duke is going to retain possession of that football after the fumble. So Notre Dame's defensive unit comes back on the field. And Duke will get the ball. First down, 10 yards to go from their own 21. And the discussion continues as the chain gang moves into the proper position. First and 10 Duke from their own 21. Larry Davis still in at quarterback. There's the snap. He keeps the ball, pitches it back down. There's another fumble. Let's see who gets it. Notre Dame gets that football. Recovered by Harry Alexander. The pitch back went that time to Frank Ryan. He fumbled it. Harry Alexander hit him and then recovered the ball.
More scores. First quarter, Illinois 3, Wisconsin nothing. At the half, Auburn 13, Georgia nothing.
Out of the huddle now comes Notre Dame with first and 10 at the 17-yard line of Duke. Coley O'Brien in at quarterback. There's the snap. Handoff goes to Haley over right tackle. He's to the 15-yard line, and that's all. Andy Beat up from the defensive secondary to make the stop along with Roger Hayes, the left defensive end.
More scores, Purdue 3, Minnesota nothing at the half. Bowling Green and Ohio University, 0-0. First quarter score.
Haley and Weingartner to the left with second 8, the ball at the 15-yard line. The handoff goes to Duchney, the fullback, up the middle to the 10-yard line. And a reminder that today's football game is presented by B.F. Goodrich, the Straight Talk Tire people, and by State Farm Mutual, the world's largest car insurance company. Third down, 3 yards to go, the ball at the Duke 10. 9 minutes, 57 seconds remaining in the third quarter. I formation, Haley, the deep man in the eye. Coley O'Brien gets the ball, hands it to Haley over right tackle, and he's down to the 8-yard line. Tackled by Martell. Very, very close to the first down.
I'm glad to see that some of our fine B.F. Goodrich friends are represented here today. Bill Davis, Lou Brubaker, Bob Baker, John Pellegrine, all from Akron.
Nice to have you here, gentlemen. Fourth down and 1. Ball at the 8-yard line of Duke. I formation. Cornetti, the deep man in the eye this time. O'Brien keeps the ball. He's to the 5-yard line. He's got the first down.
Here's an interesting score. Third period, Michigan State 37, Indiana 13. First period score, Georgia Tech 14, Penn State nothing. Third quarter score, Syracuse 30, Florida State 7.
The ball is just inside the Duke 5-yard line where Notre Dame has it. First and goal to go. O'Brien gets the ball. Hands off to Duchney over right tackle, and he gets about 2. Bob Foyle, Bob Lasky combined to make the stop on the Notre Dame fullback.
Also guests today of Ted Douglas and Ed Bischoff of ABC are Jim Flynn and Jack Crushauer of BBD&O.
It's second down and 3 with the ball at the 3-yard line of Duke. O'Brien keeps the ball himself around the left end, and he's in the end zone for the score. $56 to nothing. Will be attempting the extra point for Notre Dame. Jolie O'Brien is holding. There's the snap. It's spotted. It's up in the air, and it's good. So with the score, Notre Dame 57 and Duke nothing. Now listen to this. At front four, Chuck Louse, Gary Wisney, Harry Alexander, and Alan Sachs. First and 10 at the 30 for Duke. Quarterback Davis keeps it around the right side, gets to the 35-yard line, and he's dropped right there by Ron Jaworski. The linebackers are Alan Van Huffel, John Lavin, Ed Villeman, and Ron Jaworski. It's second down 5, the ball at the 35-yard line of Duke. Davis gets the ball. He's going to run with it around the left side. He's back to the line of scrimmage, and he's hit right there. Making the stop was Harry Alexander, along with Dan Harshman and Gary Wisney. No gain on the play. Third and 5. Ball still at the 35-yard line of Duke.
More scores. First quarter, VMI 7, Citadel 7. Third quarter, Holy Cross 17, Rutgers 6. Third quarter, North Carolina State 3, Southern Mississippi nothing.
Hicklin is flanked wide to the right this time as Davis goes back to pass. He looks, he throws to Hicklin, complete at the 45, and he stopped right there. Making the tackle was Tom Quinn, along with Mike Bergener and Ron Jaworski.
Another handful of scores. Third quarter, North Carolina 14, Air Force 20. At the half, Louisiana State 17, Mississippi State 7. Third quarter, Harvard 24, Brown 7. First quarter, Connecticut and Rhode Island scoreless. First quarter, Arkansas 3, SMU nothing.
A gain of 11 yards on the last play. It's first and 10. The ball now at the 46-yard line of Duke. Davis gets the ball, hands off to his fullback, Calabrese, over right tackle to the 49-yard line. He was knocked down over there by John Lavin and Tom Quinn. That defensive secondary now for Notre Dame includes Tom Quinn at left halfback, Mike Bergener is the safety man, and Dan Harshman is at right halfback.
Third quarter score, Wake Forest 14, Memphis State 7.
A gain of 3, second down 7, the ball at the Duke 49. Davis gets the ball, hands to his fullback, Calabrese, over left tackle to the 44-yard line of Notre Dame, and that's enough for a first down. Jaworski making the stop for Notre Dame.
Looking back at the records, Notre Dame has scored 261 shutouts during their 78-year history of the sport here at the university.
Duke has the ball, first and 10 at the Notre Dame 44. Dunaway split to the left. There's the pass to Hicklin, and it's complete at the 36-yard line. Davis to Hicklin. Tackled by Villeman. Gain on the play of about 8 yards.
More scores, third period. William & Mary 3, Virginia Tech 20, George Washington 6, West Virginia 14 at the third quarter. Columbia 13, Penn 7. That's the third quarter score. At the half, Clemson leads Maryland 14-7.
We'll call it a gain of 9, so it'll be second and 3. The ball now at the 37-yard line of Notre Dame. Davis hands the ball to his fullback, Calabrese, who gets to the 35 over right tackle. Davis this afternoon has attempted 15 passes, completed 10 for 75 yards. Calabrese has carried 10 times for 38 yards. Davis 8 times for 8 yards. Dunaway has caught 4 passes for 28 yards. Hicklin has caught 7 passes, good for 53 yards. It's third down 1. Ball at the 35. And while time is called, here's Phil Foster for State Farm.
Virginia was West Virginia 21, George Washington 6. Colgate beat Lafayette this afternoon 20-9. First half score, Texas Christian nothing, Texas 10. Here's the first quarter score. Cincinnati 7, Louisville 3. If we can pick up the band, let's do it. With 4 minutes and 12 seconds remaining in the third quarter, it is the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame 57 and Duke nothing. We mentioned that Notre Dame has scored 261 shutouts. In that 78-year history, 491 won and 136 lost with 35 ties in there for the record.
Duke has the football, 3rd and 1. The ball just outside the Notre Dame 35. Back to pass goes the quarterback, and it's incomplete. Davis threw that ball to Dunaway. It was incomplete at the 30-yard line. Guarding on the play for Notre Dame was Mike Bergener and Tom Quinn. Jim Morris along with Frank Sweeney bringing you all the action here from Notre Dame Stadium over ABC, as we do each Saturday afternoon. 4th down and 1 for Duke at the Notre Dame 36. Davis keeps the ball, and he is very close. However, I believe we're going to have a measurement. Notre Dame holds, and the Irish take over. We get the official signal as Harry Alexander made the stop for Notre Dame. Minutes, 2 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Notre Dame with a 57-0 lead. Irish out of the huddle. Trinity and Stenger are to the right. Dusty and Haley. Coley O'Brien, the quarterback, keeps it over left tackle to the 40 and to the 43-yard line. Art Van makes the stop for Duke.
Coley O'Brien and Jason Art.
Bruce Wisely, the right defensive end, 6'3", 215, and a senior, made that stop. He's from Darien, Connecticut. A gain of 8, it's now, let's give him 7 and call it 2nd down, I should say, and 3. The ball at the 42. Ryan pitches back to Haley to the 45 and to the 50-yard line. Good for the first down. Dave Haley. Haley, 5'11", 190 pounds, from Hinckley, Massachusetts. Going into the ball game, he had carried 8 times, good for 60 yards.
Halftime score, Arkansas nothing, SMU nothing. I'd like to take this time to acknowledge a fine telegram from dear old friend in Clearwater, Florida, Art Kane. Thanks, Art.
Down where it's nice and warm, huh, Frank? That ball just shy of the 50-yard line. It's 1st and 10. The handoff goes to Crinity, I should say, and he's over the 50. Into Duke territory at the 47 or 48, where Chuck Grace, who's in the ball game, replacing Glenn Newman at the left side linebacker position, makes the tackle.
Let me repeat that halftime score. Arkansas 9, Southern Methodist nothing. First quarter score, Texas A&M and Rice nothing and nothing.
A gain of 3, 2nd and 7, the ball at the Duke 47. Coley O'Brien is the quarterback. He's back to pass. He looks, he throws. It's incomplete at the 35-yard line, intended for Dusty. Now, time in for Frank Sweeney for B.F. Goodrich. 3rd and 7 from the 47 as O'Brien goes back to pass, throws complete to Stenger at the 33, and he's driven out of bounds at the 28-yard line of Duke. Chuck Grace driving him out of bounds over on the far side. In the rushing department for this second-string offense of Notre Dame, Haley has carried 6 times for 25 yards, Dushney 2 times for 6 yards, O'Brien 6 times for 12 yards, and Trinity once for 3 yards. That pass good for 19 yards, going from O'Brien to Stenger. It's 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line of Duke. There's the draw play to Dushney to the 25, inside the 25. He breaks the tackle. He goes inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Bob Dow made the stop at that point for Duke.
Some more scores, Jim. Third period, Ohio State 7, Iowa 3. Here's the final, Villanova 19, Boston College nothing. Third quarter score, Connecticut and Rhode Island are still scoreless. Third quarter score, Yale leads Princeton 7-0. First period, Colorado 7 and Kansas nothing. Back to the game here at Notre Dame.
And the Irish are driving again with 2nd down and 1. The ball at the 19-yard line of Duke. There's the snap. And off to Haley. He sprints around the left side to the 15, down to the 10-yard line, or just shy of the 10. Where he's stopped by Rob Botkin, the right side tackle, right defensive tackle, 6'2", 230, only a junior. South Charleston, West Virginia. The game of the year
coming up next Saturday against two undefeated ball clubs. Michigan State won handily this afternoon, 37-19 over Indiana. Here at Notre Dame, the Irish leading 57-0. I think it's safe to say they'll win today.
Frank, I certainly can't dispute that statement with 35 seconds remaining here in the third period. Notre Dame first and 10 from the Duke 12. As Haley gets the ball over right tackle, he's dumped just as he moves inside the 10. Boy, talk about a great dream football game, as Frank Sweeney was a moment ago. Notre Dame, the number 1 ranked team in the country, meeting the Spartans of Michigan State, the number 2 ranked team in the country, next Saturday afternoon. And we'll be bringing you all that action from Spartan Stadium in East Lansing, Michigan.
And no, we don't have any tickets.
Oh, that's the truth. Second down 7 from the 9-yard line of Duke. And the whistle blows. That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Notre Dame 57 and Duke nothing. Fourth quarter action just about to get underway from Notre Dame Stadium. The Irish have the football just inside the Duke 10-yard line with second down and 7. Out of the huddle comes Notre Dame. Stenger and Trinity go to the right side. Duchney and Haley are the setback. O'Brien keeps the ball, slips and falls as he moves inside the 10-yard line to perhaps the 9. Bob Lasky made the tackle secure. Now the ball is moved back right to the 10-yard line, so apparently that's where O'Brien's knee touched the ground. Weingartner is the left end, McKinley the left tackle, Marsico the left guard, Steve Quinn is at center for Notre Dame, Roger Fox the right guard, Gary Wisney the right tackle, and Mike Kuzmich the right end. It's 3rd and 8, the ball at the 10-yard line of Duke. There's the snap. There's a fumble. Now the pitch back goes to Trinity. He's to the 5, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown. For a moment, I thought that ball was fumbled as I saw it pitch back, and I was anticipating a fumble, actually, but Trinity came around from his right side halfback position, picked that ball off in midair, and moved 10 yards around left end into the end zone for the touchdown. Joe Azzaro will be attempting an extra point again for Notre Dame. Coley O'Brien will hold. There's the snap. There's the kick. And it's good. Notre Dame leads this football game 64-0. Frank Ryan, Andy Beast, back deep for Duke. Standing at about the 6-yard line. Jim Ryan will kick off for Notre Dame. 14 minutes, 19 seconds remaining in the football game. There's the whistle, and there's the kick. High, end over end. At the 14-yard line is Beast. Back to the 15, and over the 20 to the 25, and perhaps the 27-yard line. Stop was made for Notre Dame by Chuck Lauf. More scores coming in. A final Amherst 54, Williams 21. A final Columbia 22, Penn 14. A final Harvard 24, Brown 7. Third quarter score, Maine 25, Vermont 7. Ted Orville in the ball game at quarterback for Duke now with first and 10 from their own 26-yard line. There's the snap. Orville back to pass. He throws. It's complete, but I believe he stepped out of bounds. He did. That'll be called complete, but outside of the field of play to Hicklin. That'll move the ball back to the 26.
Ted Douglas of our ABC New York office left the booth a little bit soon. He'd be happy, I'm sure, to know that Dartmouth won today over Cornell, 32-23.
Particularly after last night when we were giving him a bad time about the Notre Dame-Dartmouth game of many, many years ago. Second down 10, the ball at the 26-yard line of Duke. Orville, the quarterback. He's got it. Back to pass. He looks. He throws. It's complete over the center at the 30-yard line to Ken Chatham. He's dropped at about the 35 by Villeman and Harshman. Jim Ryan comes in defensively at a halfback position now for Notre Dame, replacing Tom Quinn. A gain of 9 yards on the last play. It's 3rd and 1. The ball right at the 35-yard line of Duke. Dunaway to the right, Hicklin to the left. gets the ball, hands to his fullback Wilson, and he's up to the 40-yard line. A gain of 5 and good for the first down. Paige Wilson in there replacing Jay Calabrese, the leading ground gainer for the Blue Devils. Ball is spotted now at the 41, where it's 1st and 10 for Duke. Hicklin goes to the left. Dunaway is split to the right. Ed Orville calls the signals. He's back to pass. He looks. He throws long, and it's incomplete at the 30-yard line. Pass intended for Jake Devonshire. Back defending for Notre Dame, Dan Harshman and Mike Bergener. Tom Quinn coming in the ball game again. And he's replacing Dan Harshman at the right halfback position defensively for the Irish.
I went looking through the books to see if the 64-0 was a record, and I find out it's not. Just last year, Notre Dame beat Pittsburgh 69-13. But if they get another touchdown, it'll be bigger than that one.
Second down, 10 yards to go from the 41-yard line of Duke. Handoff goes to Wilson over left tackle. He's outside the 45 to the 47 or 48-yard line. Making a stop on the far side, Harry Alexander along with Tom Quinn and John Lavin. Dan Harshman returning to the ball game, a defensive halfback now, replacing Tom Quinn. Third down, and about 2, the ball at the 49-yard line of Duke. Dunaway splits to the right again. Orville calls the signals. There's the snap. Wilson, the fullback, with the football, and he is shy of the first down as he goes right over center, but he's not much shy. Alexander and Sack were there to stop him. It'll be 4th down and about a foot to go for the first down. The ball is just inside Notre Dame territory. Not much question what the Blue Devils will do here. Calabrese in at fullback, replacing Wilson now. There's the snap. Calabrese gets the ball over left tackle, and he's close, but I think he's got it. Yes, he has. The official signal. First down for Duke. John Lavin was in there to put the stop on him, along with Harry Alexander and Eric Norrie. The ball is at the 49-yard line of Notre Dame with 11 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the football game. Paige Wilson back in at fullback, replacing Jake Calabrese. 1st and 10 Duke from the Notre Dame 49. Ed Orville gets the ball. He rolls to his right, looking to throw over the left side. Now throws over the center. It's intercepted by Mike Bergener at the 30-yard line. Back to the 40, 45, and to the 50. Puts back to the 40, and he trips and falls at the 39-yard line of Duke. Mike Bergener, 5'10", 182 pounds, from Marion, Illinois, intercepts that football for Notre Dame, and they have it again at the 39-yard line of Duke.
He's so upset with himself he wanted to go all the way, but to his credit, he used his blockers again beautifully, and had he not stumbled, he may have gone all the way.
And at quarterback now for Notre Dame is Hugh O'Malley. He hands the ball to his fullback. He pounds over center to the 35-yard line. Bob Hegarty is in at fullback. 6'3", 230-pound senior from Mingo Junction, Ohio. Jim Wingerski is in at one of the halfback positions, and Mike Early is also in. The handoff that time now goes to Wingerski. Wingerski is 21 years old, a senior from River Forest, Illinois. 6 foot, 185 pounds, and Wingerski carries it to the 35.
I dare say Presidium will use as many seniors as he can. O'Malley, the quarterback now, is a senior from South Bend.
And that senior would be, of course, Hugh O'Malley. It's 3rd and 7 at the 35 as O'Malley now gets the ball, rolls to his left, and gets inside the 35 to perhaps the 34-yard line. Stop is made over there by Art Van.
I'm given to understand that O'Malley can really throw that football too, Jim. I hope he has the opportunity. Here's some other scores to pass along. Air Force 20, North Carolina 14. That's the final. 9 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the game. Here's the first quarter score. Oklahoma and Missouri 0-0. At the half, East Carolina 14, Richmond 9. At the half, Bowling Green 14, Ohio University 0. Back now to Jim Morse.
Pete Lamantia is flanked to the right now. Bob Belden's the quarterback. He gets the ball on the option play, gets inside the 30-yard line. Lamantia is a sophomore, senior halfback, 5'10", 170 from Toronto, Ontario. Now into the ball game at halfback. If we can keep up with all of them, here goes Jim Kelly, a senior from Rutherford, New Jersey. 6 feet tall, 195 pounds. Belden gained a first down at the 26-yard line. It's 1st and 10. He keeps the ball on the option. He's tackled at the 25-yard line. Bob Belden, sophomore quarterback from Canton, Ohio, 6'2", 205 pounds.
Semifinal, William and Mary 18, Virginia Tech 20. Virginia Tech the winner.
Irish out of the huddle now. 2nd down, 9. The ball at the 25-yard line. Mike Early in at the flanker position. The handoff goes to the fullback this time, Bob Hagerty, and he goes over the 25 to perhaps the 22-yard line, where he's tackled by Bob Lasky and Bob Boyle, I should say. 7 minutes, 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Notre Dame has the ball. 3rd and 5 at the 22-yard line of Duke. Belden on the option play, keeps the ball. He's inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Making the stop, Mark Selgin, Bob Matheson. He's shy of the first down. Out of the ball game now comes Jim Kelly. He's replaced by Wingerski. Now Zurowski comes into the football game at halfback for Notre Dame. Belden keeps the ball on the option around the right side. On a 4th and 2 situation, I believe he stopped shy of the first down. There's going to be a measurement. Going to be close, down at about the 17-yard line. Very close, as a matter of fact. And Duke holds, and the Blue Devils take over. And your host for today's football game, as always, here on ABC Radio, V.F. Goodrich with Great Talk Tire People and State Farm Mutual, the world's largest car insurance company. Duke has the football, 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. Ted Orville gets the ball in hands to his right halfback now. And he goes up over the 20-yard line to the 22-yard line. 5 yards on the play from the 17 to the 22. Leo Collins comes in at linebacker now for Notre Dame. With a 2nd down, 6, let's call it 5, the ball at the 22. Todd Orville hands to Paige Wilson, his fullback, and he fights his way to almost the 27-yard line, fumbles the football. However, the whistle had blown it dead. Hicklin, I should say, Chatham, and Wilson are the running backs. Todd Orville is the quarterback for Duke, and they have the football, 1st and 10. Go ahead, Frank.
First half score, CMI 14, Citadel 7, Navy 3, Vanderbilt nothing in the first quarter.
1st and 10, ball at the 28-yard line of Duke. Orville gets the ball, option play to the left, he keeps it, shakes one tackler, however does not get by the 2nd tackler and is dropped at about the 27-yard line. Making a stop for Notre Dame was John Lavin. Bob Zubek comes in at left defensive end now for Notre Dame, replacing Alan Sack. Zubek is a sophomore from Paynesville, Ohio, 6'2", 220 pounds. 2nd down, 11 yards. The ball now at the 22-yard line of Duke. Todd Orville gets the ball, hands to his fullback, Paige Wilson, and he's to the 34-yard line before he is dumped by Gary Wisney. Eric Norrie comes into the ball game now for Notre Dame, replacing Chuck Lauf. Well, the
gives the Scrubs a chance to get in the ball game, Jim. There's still 4 minutes and 41 seconds remaining to be played. Notre Dame leading 64 to nothing.
Duke has the ball with 3rd and 4 from their own 34. Orville gets the ball, throws, it's complete to Hicklin at the 45-yard line, and he goes to the 47. Another first down for Duke. First down, 10 yards to go. Duke from the 46-yard line of Notre Dame. Devonshire now in at halfback. Handoff, however, goes to Paige Wilson, the fullback, over right tackle, and he's stopped after a gain of about 2 yards. Taking a stop, Zubek and Jaworski for Notre Dame. Win in now in the defensive secondary for the Irish. Now it comes Jim Ryan. Our personal congratulations, of course, to all the fine Notre Dame seniors who are winding up their career for the Irish here this afternoon at Notre Dame Stadium. It's second down, 8 the ball at the 48-yard line. As Wilson gets the ball, he's across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Eric Norrie makes the stop for Notre Dame.
More scores, North Carolina and Southern Mississippi this afternoon. Southern Mississippi, the winner, 7-6. At the half, Oklahoma nothing, Missouri nothing. And repeating, Michigan State 37, Indiana 19.
It's third down, 3 yards to go for Duke. The ball now is at the 46-yard line of the Irish. Orville gets the ball on the quarterback sneak and gets to the 45, but he is short of the first down. He got beyond that 45. It wasn't by much. Well, as the ball is spotted, it's by about a foot. Eric Norrie again making a stop along with John Lavin for Notre Dame.
Well, next Saturday afternoon sure continues to shape up as the big one of this year and perhaps of any year, with Notre Dame visiting East Lansing for that battle with the Spartans next Saturday.
Fourth down and 1 for Duke. The ball just inside the Notre Dame 45-yard line. Paige Wilson gets the ball and goes over left tackle. I believe he's short of that first down. Let's see. There's going to be a measurement. 2 minutes, 11 seconds remaining here in this football game. It's to Paige Wilson, the fullback, over right tackle. He's inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. Zubek and John Lavin combined to make the stop on Wilson. He moved that ball to the 37-yard line of Notre Dame. A pickup of 7 on the play. It's 2nd and 3. Out of the huddle now come the Blue Devils. Ed Hicklin is flanked to the left. There's the snap. The handoff to Wilson again. He's the workhorse here now as he moves inside the 35 over right tackle. And here come the Notre Dame seniors. The first singers back into that football game, so they'll have an opportunity to get their proper hand here from this crowd of 60,000 here at Notre Dame Stadium. First and 5 at the 27. The pass is intended for Hicklin out to the left side, and it's incomplete. Don Gamitter, Tom Regner in playing defense along with Alan Page now. Gamitter and Regner come out to get the proper hand here from the Notre Dame fans. Now we have in there, Page is still in there, Kevin Hardy is in there, Harry Alexander, and Gary Wisney combine that front four for the Irish. Second down, 5 yards to go at the 27-yard line of Notre Dame. The snap goes back to Orville. He goes back to pass, and it's incomplete at the 22-yard line. That was a tackle-eligible play, and Jaworski caught it. Kevin Hardy and Alan Page now coming out of the ball game, and happy young men they are.
Purdue still hoping to go to the Rose Bowl, leading Minnesota 9-0 in the third quarter. First period score, Florida 7, Tulane 3. Third quarter score, Georgia 14, Auburn 13. At the half, Georgia Tech 14, Penn State nothing. Clemson 14, Maryland 10 in the third quarter.
Third down, 5 yards to go for Duke. The ball is at the Notre Dame 27-yard line. There's the snap. Orville back to pass. It's hit from behind. The ball is fumbled. Boy, was he hit from behind that time. Wisney came in and really hit him. There's 41 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. Duke was able to retain possession. Notre Dame takes a timeout to stop the clock now with 36 seconds remaining.
When that quarterback was hit from the blind side, everybody in the stands went, ooh, because you could almost feel that one up here. Third period score, Miami of Ohio 31, Dayton nothing. First quarter score, Iowa State 7, Kansas State nothing. Here at Notre Dame Stadium with 36 seconds remaining, it is Notre Dame 64 and Duke nothing. And I don't think that we need to say it, but we will remind you that next Saturday afternoon, Jim Morris and I, Frank Sweeney, will be in East Lansing, Michigan for a game between a couple of fine contenders, to say the least. Notre Dame, the number 1 team in the nation, and Michigan State, the number 2 team. Back to the action and you, Jim.
Fourth down, 6 yards to go. The ball at the 29. Harville calls signals for Duke. There's the snap. He's back to pass. He throws out here. It's batted down by Alan Sack. Well, the Irish will take over. There's 32 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. And as Frank Sweeney told you a moment ago, the Irish have the lead by the score of 64 to nothing. Belden is in at quarterback for Notre Dame. Kevin Rassus is flanked to the right. He's the split end. Handoff goes to the fullback, number 39 in the ball game, Bob Haggerty, and he bowls his way over the 30 to perhaps the 32-yard line. And Notre Dame takes the timeout. 26 seconds remaining in the ball game. Lamantia comes out at the halfback position. He's replaced by Zorowski. Down 8. The ball is at the 31-yard line. Bob Belden is the quarterback. Rassus splits to the left. There's the snap. Belden keeps the ball, and he's tackled as he moves over the right tackle position on the option play. He's stopped over there by Bruce Wisely. Notre Dame calls another timeout, and there's 17 seconds remaining in the football game. At the 32 and a half. It'll be third down, about 7.
It's a happy bunch of seniors down there, Jim, and I think that it's going to be to their everlasting credit that they can probably say to their grandchildren, I played on one of the finest Notre Dame teams ever.
I certainly couldn't agree more, Frank. Bob Belden gets the football, hands to his fullback over left tackle, and he's outside the 35-yard line to the 36, Bob Haggerty. Off the second. And that's the end of the football game with the final score, Notre Dame 64 and Duke nothing.